when you submit it, I'm done. Whew. Go have lunch. Go have happy hour. Whatever you need to do. But it is a wonderful sensation to just be able to submit that proposal, know it's in on time. And I wouldn't preach it so much, but it really is very painful for DFW Airport to not accept a bid or proposal. It was very painful for me to turn those 4 bids or proposals away. And I don't want any company to put that kind of effort, the effort I know you're going to put into submitting a proposal, and all that go for naught. I also want to urge you to take advantage of any pre-proposal conferences that are provided. The RFP document will stipulate exactly what the pre-proposal is going to be about, the agenda. It'll also tell you where and when those pre-proposal conferences will be held. And it's a great opportunity for you to get some more specific information or address some of your questions about the concession that you're interested in. So that's an opportunity you should take full advantage of. Again, if you got questions, even if you ask them verbally during a pre-proposal conference, make sure to follow up in writing. That way we make sure we get your question. And anything that's shared during a request for proposal, for a pre-proposal conference that is stated verbally is not binding unless it is modified in writing by an addendum. Make sure your proposal is easy to follow and easy to evaluate. Don't be too dependent on broad general marketing language or generic statements or canned sales presentations. I mean, we know that some companies have a very extensive marketing department, and they have all types of brochures and language and I call it very generic language about their companies. But, we're really looking for specifically what makes your company unique. What makes your concession concept unique so that it could be successful at DFW Airport. And often those types of generic terms don't work. We want you to give some real thought into what your concession will do to benefit DFW Airport and its objectives and its plans and policies as far as having concessions at DFW Airport. What are you going to do to service our customers? One of the things that I also see in some proposals that I would be very careful about is cutting and pasting. I don't know how many times I've seen proposals where it starts saying, and we can do the same great service to the city of Dallas as we can do for you. Okay, that's fine. We want to know about DFW Airport. And I find companies' names, different city names, and it's obvious that they cut and they paste it, and I understand that. I mean, I'm guilty of it. If I write a great letter and I have a similar situation come up, I use that same letter kind of like a template. But you have to be very careful. If the information is relevant and you've used it in the past, great. Use the same language. But be very careful that if you need to change the name of the client, in this case to DFW Airport, you need to do that. Proofread, proofread, proofread. And I do know that I've heard from some of the concessions people that they have seen this happen in concessions proposals as well. So it doesn't just happen in procurements. It has also happened in concession proposals. And I can tell you, if you're evaluating a proposal, it does kind of make an impression upon the evaluator that if you can't even get the client's name right, that doesn't really look too good. So just be careful when you do cut and paste. Now, once you've submitted your proposal and you're very excited and you're anxious to see what's going to happen, I want you to have an understanding of basically what happens to that proposal. We do have it is evaluated by a cross-functional committee of board representatives. Various departments will be involved with this. In some cases, they'll be involved with the formal scoring of the proposals. And in some cases, they'll be playing an advisory role. I'll go back to my example, for example, of the insurance. If we're looking to have insurance compliance, the representative from the risk management department may not be actually scoring the proposal, but they will be checking your proposal for insurance compliance, and we will depend upon their expertise to guide us in whether or not your proposal has sufficient insurance to meet the requirements. The evaluation of proposals, we will state specific evaluation criteria, and we will tell you the weight of each of those criteria on the evaluation process. There are some criteria that frankly are just more important to DFW Airport than others. And I can't speak for the private sector, but I don't think they typically tell you how in the order of importance each type of criteria, how we're going to weight it. Well, we tell you that. So you do have an understanding of what we feel is more important and less important. But I also want you to understand that even the things that are with a lower weight are still very important. And when you have potentially 100+ proposals coming in, it's those little differences that might make the difference between you getting shortlisted and you not being shortlisted. The difference between you getting interviewed or not being interviewed. Difference between you getting an invitation to be a concessionaire at DFW Airport or not. So pay attention to little things, but it's very important that you understand what we feel is important, more important, less important, and we will tell you that in the request for proposal evaluation criteria. Many proposals will be offered. Again, as I said, I expect over 100. So be patient. Calling, emailing us, saying where are we at, where are we at, where are we at, doesn't help. I understand it's kind of like Christmas. You know, you can't wait till it's time to open up presents, or your birthday's coming around the corner, or Father's Day. Got a lot of shirts on Father's Day, by the way, but anyway. You just can't, we can't give you any more information than probably what we provided to you in the request for proposal document. That's why we give you a tentative schedule. And so if we get as many proposals as I expect we will, just be patient. We're going to be working very diligently to get those evaluated efficiently, get a short list created, inform those people who made the short list of interview sessions. We've got to schedule those sessions. That means scheduling your company's schedule. If you have a partner or subcontractor, we've got to consider their time availability for a schedule. And then we've got the evaluation panel. I mean, we've got to basically bring about a dozen people together at one time for all the proposals that are shortlisted. And that takes time. So just be flexible, be patient. Again, I've already gone over about the evaluation criteria and the relative importance. I kind of got ahead of myself there. So understand that, no company is perfect. Acknowledge your weaknesses. And again, this is the opportunity for you to address them. And if you address them by partnering or utilizing a subcontractor, that's a great way to augment what may be a weakness in your company as the prime concessionaire. It's important that whatever you do in writing your proposal, that you build the credibility either through your own resources or through outsourcing, and that you mitigate the risk. The airport wants to know that we're dealing with a company, subcontractors, partners that are fully capable of making the commitment of being a concessionaire over the long term. Provide relevant concession references. If you've had a successful business, provide that reference that really works, that really is similar to what is at DFW Airport. If you have, for example, a concessionaire opportunity for 1,000 square feet, and you give us a reference for a facility that's 3,000 square feet, that's not apples and oranges.